I'm Jordan Hyman, and today I'm going to be talking to you about climate change and the upcoming global effect. Who are most threatened by climate change? Children, low-income groups, limited healthcare access groups, seniors, senior citizens, chronic medical condition patients, people with disabilities, outdoor workers, emergency response workers, and last but not least, pregnant women. Even though everyone is at risk for climate change, these groups tend to be at a higher risk for many similar reasons. Children's developing stages are crucial to a healthy life growing up, and climate change will affect the water they drink, air they breathe, and where they live overall. The United States Environmental Protection Agency mentions children swallow twice as much water as adults. Adding on to that, low-income groups and limited healthcare access groups all will not be able to receive the resources needed if the quality of air and water get to a point where sickness and diseases start to spread. Older adults and senior citizens' lifespans would be cut shorter due to the poor air quality and water, which then could lead to diseases that could affect their longevity of their lifespan as well. The same effect can happen on pregnant women, outdoor and emergency response workers, and people with disabilities. At a rate like this, 1.2 billion people can be displaced globally by 2050. What to expect in the upcoming years. We can expect many different changes in the upcoming years due to climate change. Our first change could be the sea level rising. Our world dropping from 2 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius could lead to the world's most popular cities being underwater. And the picture above is New York City, if we were to drop those degrees, and if our sea level were to rise. Next is the ice caps melting. Ice caps melting and reduced ice covers take away animals' environments and lead to the rise in temperature, which then can take away our environments as well. The ice caps melting then could lead to ocean acidification. The ice caps and freshwater melting leads to higher pH in our oceans, leading to ocean acidification. This will result in a loss of fisheries and animals with shells for food, along with warming of the ocean. Next is shifting ecosystems. As sea levels rise, ice caps melt, and ocean acidification happens, ecosystems start to be affected and shift. Rainforests will start changing to deserts and vice versa. This impacts all wildlife and people living in these areas. As you can see, each one is a result of the other. So, for example, when our ice caps melt because of the fresh water getting into our ocean, which then could lead to the ocean acidification, which then could lead to shifting ecosystems, and the shifting ecosystems can change our degrees Celsius for our sea levels to rise. Who is already affected? Somalia, Syria, Democratic Republic of Congo, Afghanistan, Yemen, Chad, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. The International Rescue Committee states top 10 countries already at risk of global warming are the following to the left, the ones I just stated. Many of these countries are head-to-head with natural disasters because of the climate change. These natural disasters include flash flooding, earthquakes, landslides, and drought. These extensive periods of flooding or drought not only affect the places these people live at, but also influence famine when you cannot grow food because of the lack of rain. People are finding the flooding is causing disease outbreaks like cholera, a waterborne illness. These countries are falling apart before our eyes because of the climate change that we as people can learn to change. The University of Notre Dame came up with a scale called the Global Adaptation Initiative Index. This scale shows how climate change can affect all of our countries from least to worst. As you go on throughout the scale, lower income countries are at a high risk of impact, if not already being impacted. And as you move up the scale, you reach higher income areas. Although it may take longer to reach up the scale, it is only time before the climate change has an effect on each country globally. When is it too late? Climate change cannot be stopped. We as a population, though, can figure out ways to slow it down to protect our one home we have for as long as possible. These pictures above are what is happening to our world currently as we speak. Greta Thunberg, Sweden climate activist, uses the analogy of a house to ignite people to understand our house is being torn apart and we are just letting it. UN reporter states estimated 1 million animal and plant species are at risk of extinction. Deforestation affecting our air we breathe. Our world is falling apart and fast. To answer my above question, we already hit a point of too late. It is now how do we prepare for the upcoming repercussions and figure out how to battle these new economic experiences we may face. We have the IPCC, otherwise known as the Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change, explaining to us we need to be holding temperatures to 2 degrees Celsius. This can allow our planet to last till 2050. Luckily, as we grow in social media and communication all over the world, it allows us to get the word out easier that we need to save our planet faster and to more groups of people more than ever before. These are the results of because of our climate change. These pictures are results from our climate change. So we have flash flooding, the deforestation, extinction, and the air pollution. Why is climate change happening? Generating power, manufacturing goods, cutting down forests, using transportation, producing food, powering buildings, and consuming too much power. There is a common denominator when it comes to talking about what causes climate change. That common factor is oil, gas, and coal. Carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide trap the sun's heat, making it pollute into our air. Unfortunately, many things are produced by using oil, gas, and coal. The way most of us use power in our households every day, from plugging in any electric or using heat when we are cold. Everyday appliances such as a refrigerator, washer, dryer, TV, and many more are overused or forgot to be turned off, and is killing our planet each day more and more. How we make many of our manufactured goods, producing emissions into the air from burning fossil fuels to making iron, metals, and clothes, and electronics are also ways we commit to climate change for our world. Last but not least, deforestation to build buildings that we need to power and farms to produce some foods is limiting our world's natural way of trapping carbon dioxide gases and then emitting them double because of the use of power needed for these buildings. It is great to grow as an economy, but eventually we are going to lose the opportunity of having any economy left. How can we slow down climate change? Cutting out all the negatives that affect our climate change is nearly impossible, but we can figure out ways to limit the emissions and create cleaner energy ways for resources that we rely on today so heavily. Solar panel energy. Using clean energy such as solar panel energy limits the power use in houses and buildings by taking energy from the sun. Wind energy. Wind energy, similar to the solar panel energy, is also clean energy, and wind spins at generators creating electricity for the desired area. There's a little bit more simple ways of going about things rather than installing solar panels and wind energy. You can also just do something simple as hang drying clothes. Hang drying clothes is a more simple way than installing solar panels to your home. Hang drying clothes is just one of many examples that you can use to limit power use in the household. And another simple way is enjoying nature. Going for a bike ride or walk to your favorite coffee shop rather than driving is a substantial way everyone can join in on limiting emissions and changing climate change. And finally, here are some of my references I used.